Hello, my name is Keshwani. That's Keshwani, Keshwani. We are going to be, you and I, that is, going to be working together to improve our English. I want to improve my English. Do you want to improve your English? Well, if you do, let's work together, you and I together. We will learn new words, we will expand our vocabulary. Once in a while, we'll learn something about grammar here and there. And we'll just have fun. We'll learn few words every day. Why am I doing this thing? Because there are words that I want to learn that I've been putting off for too long. And by doing this thing, it will force me to sit there and learn the words properly myself. And it will expand my vocabulary. It will expand your vocabulary. We'll improve our English together, you and I. Once in a while, we're going to make mistakes. Once in a while, I'm going to make a mistake and we'll end up making a fool of myself. That's okay. It doesn't matter. That's part of learning. Making mistakes is part of learning. Alright, so let's start. As I said, every day we're going to do a few words. Today is day 1. Let's put it down here. Day 1. Let's start with the word which I consider to be the most important word in the English language. The word that you should know, that is the most important word in my opinion, and the word is nuance. This is how we pronounce it. It's a noun, nuance. What does it mean? Well, I don't know if you can see this thing here. There's a pronunciation key here which teaches you how to pronounce all the vowels in the English language. It's important that you understand that you know how to pronounce all the vowels: A, E, I, O, U, and of course there are some examples for each of them. You're going to use this key. I know you cannot see it right now properly, but you can of course, hopefully you can zoom in or expand it or look in the bigger screen or something and see if you can read it properly. And you're going to use this key here. For example, this letter here, that's right here, this thing has the same sound as you find in father. Right here, father. Same thing here. And with 2 O's with a line on it should be somewhere here, right here. It is in boot. Boot. Nuance. Nuance. What does it mean? Now, how much help you're going to get out of it, how useful you will find it, it's up to you. It depends on your vocabulary level. It depends on how well you know English language already. You be the judge of it if you find it useful. Because sometimes I'm going to end up explaining things which you will find too rudimentary, too elementary. But that's okay. Nuance. What does it mean? It means subtle. Subtle has a T in it, a silent T, not a T is what I meant to say, a B in it. Subtle is S-U-B-T-L-E. It has a silent B in it. A subtle or minute, which is the same spelling as minute, but here in this instance we'll pronounce it as minute. A subtle or minute differences in the meanings of the words. Subtle or minute differences in the meanings of the words. For example, let me give you a couple of examples here. For example, can you tell me what's the difference between these 2 words? Run and sprint. You see, when you begin to pick up nuances of the words, that is when you know that you have mastered the word, mastered the language. For example, can you tell me the difference between this word run and sprint? And if you're sitting there, pause if you have to, pause the video if you have to think for a second. And if you're sitting there and telling me that sprint means to run really, really fast, well, it does mean to run really, really fast, but you have not brought out the nuance of the word. There is a subtle or minute difference between this word and this word. Merely telling me that it means to run really fast is not enough. There is a certain nuance to it, there is a shade of the meaning that you have to tell me, that you have to bring out, otherwise you have not said, you have not expressed the full extent, the full meaning of the word. What's the difference between run and sprint? Sprint does mean to run really, really fast, as you said, but for a short period of time. You must say that, for a short period of time. One does not sprint for an hour. One may go for a run for an hour, but one does not sprint for an hour. Sprint is a very fast run, that is true, for a short period of time. That last part, if it's missing, then you have not brought out all the nuances or nuance of the word. Do you understand? That's what it is. Let's look at another example to make you understand why this word is so important. Let's look at these two words here. Notorious. And again, I'm very particular about how we pronounce words. Because if you're going to speak English language, and particularly if you're a non-native speaker of English, as I am, as soon as you open your mouth, people begin to judge you, rightly or wrongly. That is not the point here. But the main point here is that as soon as you open your mouth, the listener will begin to judge you. Not just English language, any language as you. As soon as you open your mouth, no matter which language you're speaking, people will judge you by the way you speak. But particularly if you're trying to speak English as a non-native speaker, as soon as you open your mouth, people will make some assessment about you. They will begin to assign some values to your intelligence, to your background, to your education. Whether it's right or wrong, it's a different story. It doesn't matter. That is a moot point. Oh, here's a good word to learn. We'll learn this in the future. Any words that I come across in the lecture, we'll put them on the side there. When I watch the video again myself, I'll make a note of those words and we'll learn them in the future. It doesn't matter whether rightly or wrongly, people make a judgment. That's why it's important that you learn to pronounce the word as best as you can. Notorious, notor-E-S. Right here is the this part right here, E with this line right here in B. See, that's how it's pronounced. This E here has the same sound as in B. I will not do this pronunciation thing and point out to it every single time, maybe the first few times in the first few days, and after that I'll stop. It's right there. You should open a decent dictionary. You should buy a decent dictionary if you do not own one. And for Christ's sakes, do not sit there and use electronic dictionary. Don't be lazy. Buy a proper paper dictionary, spend some money, and get in the habit of looking up words and learning them properly. And in a decent dictionary, in the beginning of the dictionary, in the front of the dictionary somewhere, they should give you the phonetics, the pronunciation key, which is what I take here. I use something myself called American Heritage, I believe it is. But anyway, that's what I use. So, notorious. Can you tell me the difference between this word, notorious, and this word is pronounced infamous. This right here is pronounced as in about. Right here, somewhere should be there. About, item, edible, gallop, circus. You see right here at the very bottom. In the word about, this sound that you see there, is this sound right here. So this is the sound, infamous, infamous. It is not pronounced infamous. That will be a wrong pronunciation. The question now is, can you tell me the difference between this word and that word, notorious and infamous? Both of these words mean to be famous, but they have different nuances. They have different shades of the meaning. Notorious means, let's put it someplace here. Notorious means to be famous for something. This means something. S period and T period means something. This would be someone. This would be somebody. And so on and so forth. To be famous for something bad. To be famous for something bad. To be famous for something horrendous, something horrible, something terrible. Deed. We'll learn this word later on. Deed means some work, something that you've done. That's what notorious means. So how does, they both of these words, infamous, and actually they're the same words. I just realized it. They both mean the same thing. Notorious and infamous, they both mean to be something bad. That was not, this is the pair, I just realized it. This is the pair. Can you tell me the difference between this pair? Both of these words mean to be famous for something bad. Now here's another word. Renowned. What does it mean to be renowned? It also means to be something. It also means to be famous. Renowned also means to be famous. But it means to be famous for something good. Something good that you have done. That means to be renowned. Do you understand? And that is the difference between the two words here, between being infamous or notorious and being renowned for something. You've done something good, and that's what you're famous for. Even though they both have the same meaning, it means to be famous, but they have different nuances. They have minute or subtle differences in the meanings of the words. For example, Gandhi is renowned, but Hitler is infamous. You see the difference between the two things. Let's move on then. Let's do something else. I'll give you one more example to make you understand the importance of this word nuance. Do you know the difference between these two words? Allude and refer. So this was our first word. We did the second and third word. This is my, I'm keeping track of here as to, we did infamous, notorious, renowned. This is 5 and 6. So what's the difference? This word here is pronounced allude. And this is simply refer. Do you know the difference between allude and refer? They both mean to make a reference to something, to mention something. But what is the difference? What is the nuance of the word allude and refer? Refer means to mention something explicitly. That means to mention something specifically. By name, that is. Allude means to make an indirect reference. It means to make an indirect reference without mentioning name, implicitly. You do not name any names, but every person knows who or what you're talking about. You might allude to a book, or you might allude to a scene in the movie, you might allude to a person without actually mentioning person's name. And if you're doing that, you're making an allusion. The noun for allude is, let's see, I run out of room here. This is a verb, obviously, because we are alluding to something, we are referring to something. This is a verb, and I already gave you the noun here. The noun of refer is reference right here. And the noun of allude is, let's see, where should I put it? Allusion. Allusion. Not to be confused with illusion, which is a different word. Let's move on then. I'm going to erase everything now. I'm going to move on to something else. Here's another good word that comes to my mind right now, but I do not know how to spell it, so I'm going to have to look it up myself. The word that comes to my mind just now is confluence. Confluence. Do you know what that means? Confluence. I'm spelling it the way I think it should be spelled. And don't go by what I'm just doing right now, because I just told you a little while ago not to buy electronic dictionary. Yes, I do own an electronic dictionary, but you can own one too. but don't depend on it too much. When it's time to learn properly, open a proper dictionary. Right now I'm in a hurry, I don't have a luxury of picking up a proper dictionary. The word is confluence. I don't know how to spell it. Well, I'll look it up later, and in the future we'll learn it, okay? Confluence. There are lots of words that I know, but I don't know how to spell. I'm very lousy at spelling things. I'm not a good speller. I used to be a good speller a long time ago, many moons ago, but then they invented this bloody thing called spell check, and after that, spelling is shot to hell because people get lazy. The word is confluence. When I watch this tape, I will listen, hear it, and we'll learn it in the future. Confluence means coming together of ideas, coming together of two different things. For example, if this is a river here, and this is another river, and they're merging together, this is called confluence of the bodies of water, coming together. What I'm doing here, there is no confluence from one topic or one word to the next word. These are just words that I like. These are just words that I want to learn properly, and they crop up in my reading. And I just made a list of them. There is no confluence of ideas from one set of words or one word to the next word. So here we're going to learn something else, which is completely different from what we're talking about right now. The word I want you to learn, and now, so I gave you a couple of examples to make you understand the meanings of the word nuance, how important it is to understand the subtle shades of the meanings of the words, the minute differences in the meanings of the word, like renowned and infamous, or what else did we do? Allude and refer. They are the same words, but they have different nuances. If you're not mentioning by name, then you're not making a reference, you're making an allusion. Now we're going to talk about a pair of words which will make you understand and appreciate the importance of this thing that you have in front of you here, the importance of being able to pronounce the word properly. Let's take a look at it. Two examples we're going to do. The word actually is the same word. Let me put down the pronunciation here. C-O-N, con, content. When it's pronounced like that, content, right here, O, right, you will find it someplace in this here, I don't know where it is, right here in pot. This thing, this sound is same as the sound that you see in pot, right here, P-O-T, pot, right on the first line. Right here, content, O, content, as opposed to this word right here. Same exact word, same exact spelling, but different pronunciation makes the world of difference. It becomes a different word. Now instead of con is con. Con. Same ending. See, tent. So content, one more time, content as opposed to content. What does this mean? This is a different word than this word. Do you know the difference between content and content? Well, let's erase this thing so I have the room to write. Content is a noun. It means, how should I explain it? It means the content of your, for example, if you put in your purse, you have your lipsticks and you have your mirror and you have your keys and you have your wallet and you have your credit card and so forth. All of those things are content of your purse. Content means the things that are put in something. Which is why you must have heard of something called table of contents. Table of contents. In the beginning of a book, they give you table of contents where they list all the chapters that are in the book, and then they give you page number. That's called table of content. Or as I said, the content of your purse, the things that are in the purse. For example, you might say that the guy at the customs, as you were coming out of it, he examined the content of your suitcase. The content of your suitcase, maybe your clothing, whatever else you're carrying in your suitcase, the books, toys, whatever it is that you're carrying, the gifts in there. He examined all the contents of your suitcase. And things that are in the suitcase are called the content of the suitcase. Not to be confused with content, which is not a noun. This is a noun. This is an adjective. What does it mean to be content? To be content means to be happy, to be satisfied, to be, here's a good word to know, to be satiated. This is a good word to know for the GRE, for GMAT and so forth. Satiated. See. You might be wondering why I don't write this thing ahead of time and just tape bits and pieces after having written everything. It will go quicker. But I don't want to. We take our time. We're not in a hurry. I want you to pretend that you're in the classroom. In the classroom, you watch as the teacher writes. That's what it is. Satiated, satiated, which means to be satisfied, to be happy, to be content. There you go. To be content. That's what we're learning here. To be content. The opposite of satiated would be unsatiated, or if you say that it's unsatiable, the word is unsatiable, means incapable of being satisfied. If you have an unsatiable hunger, unsatiable appetite, unsatiable desire to accumulate things, then no matter how much stuff you have, no matter how much material things that you accumulate, you always want more. And if that is the case, then you are unsatiable. You can your desire cannot be satisfied, and the word would be unsatiable. That's it. Let's see what else I have today. That's about it. I hope you found it helpful. This is what we're going to do every day. Just give me a second. I want to see how much time I have taken. Just give me 1 second. I have taken 22 minutes. I think it's probably a bit too long, but anyway, that was the idea here. We're just going to learn few words here and there every day and see how it goes. Some days I'm going to take probably 10 minutes, and some days it's going to be 15 minutes, and on occasions it's going to be 20 or 30 minutes, so it's okay. Today was the first day, so it took some time. But anyway, this was the day one. Again, if you want to get hold of me, I also tutor. I also provide private tutoring to help you improve your English, and I also, of course, do tutoring for the GRE, which is why this part is there. www.prep.for4gre.com. I also do GMAT, prep for GMAT.com or prep for SAT.com. Anyway, if you need to get hold of me, go to my website at www.keshwani.keshwaniprep.com and send me an email. Or you can go to, of course, iwantoimproveMyEnglish.com. It will take you to the same place. Send me an email if there is anything at all that I can help you with your English language desire to improve your English language, or if you are working on GRE, GMAT, or SAT. If there is anything at all that I can do for you to help you with the exams that you're preparing for, I'll be more than happy to help. All right. Thanks. Bye.